My stepmother 50F had a breakdown, and my dad 53M wants me 18M to embrace her as a mother to help her heal. My stepmother has no biological children. She met my dad after my mom died when I was still very young, 6. She threw herself into being my mom because she knew she could not have children of her own. She asked me almost every day to call her mom. She started introducing herself to other people as my mom and instructed me to do the same, which I resisted. When she found a photo of my mom in my bedroom, she asked my dad to toss all the photos and reminders of my mom, so she wasn't left to compete against. My mom's parents and sisters stepped in before they could be tossed to take them. It caused a lot of conflict, and my stepmother raged at them for saving them, because she knew deep down they would end up with me when I got older. My stepmother really hated that I never stopped loving my mom. She was upset that I never loved her back, and that I never saw her as my mom for real. I didn't always argue with her about it, but she could probably tell. I kept stuff from her because I started hating her over time, and didn't want to have her in my business. She made me really uncomfortable with how obsessive she was about it. Then her stepsister OD'd, and her stepsister's kids were taken in by her and my dad, and they adopted those kids. But my stepmother and her stepsister didn't have a close relationship, and those kids never bonded with her or my dad. She got kind of messed up 3 years ago, and started crying every day over none of us calling her mom, none of us liking or loving her, and because my dad had me calling him dad, she never got to experience that. My dad and I fought a lot, and we were really in a bad place for the last 2 years, but apparently every time I called him dad, it broke her. I moved out of their house 7 months ago, and 2 months later she had a breakdown. She was hospitalized for 4 months, and only recently got to go home with my dad. Her stepsister's kids ended up going to bio-grandparents because they didn't want to be there. But the adoption is still a thing, so they're still their legal kids. I haven't seen her at all, and it pisses my dad off. He told me I need to embrace her as my mom after all this time, so she can find healing and can finally have that broken part of her repaired. He said I owe her that much because she truly gave her all to being my mom. I had to block him because of it, but he's even giving members of his extended family a hard time over it, and he says I can't just throw away my parents like that. I always thought he and I could maintain a casual amount of contact, but now I'm not so sure. What does everyone think? Because no contact is looking like the best choice.